extra point up and good by Crosby. And the rout is on here in this first half. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
He's going to take another shot here. And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go. Mike 3.
Throwing is Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. To throw is Rodgers. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown.
I think this is where you have to have the term situational football in your head, because this game is pretty much in the palm of your hand, and the one thing you can't afford to do, turn the ball over. Now you've given the patient a little bit of a heartbeat, haven't you? And now they're feeling it, and they're back in this game.
Yeah, still a little bit of a lead, but that makes things more interesting. And we're still just in the third quarter here. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, it's complete. A diving grab there by Brown. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick-6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the pick-6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early. to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw. Looking deep for Adams. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here. And this will be caught at the 30.
They're not even trying to do anything.
Touchdown, Packers. Even later into his career now, there aren't too many guys that can launch it downfield with accuracy better than Aaron Rodgers.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now.
Ravens 15.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Rolling to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes.
Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, 38 yards. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Packers. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson, rolling to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson on the move to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Second and 2.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.